Hello everyone, welcome to our presentation. We are Ascendio is the name of the mob that the three of us are very, very proud to represent. 13 weeks ago we didn't know each other, and I can consider us best friends and siblings at this point through stress and success all at the same time. We've spent the last 2 weeks working on what we feel to be a really, really cool and interactive product that we want to aim at children and parents. We'll tell you a little bit about that now in a few minutes, and we'll walk you through the app, but first a little bit about ourselves. As I said, my name is Robbie. I'm 29, I'm from Ireland. I started my coding journey on and off 4 or 5 years ago, but seriously about 2 years ago. Starting with some front-end development, I did a diploma in web design, kind of focused on that. For me it was a little bit easier to get into at the start. And through courses in Python and now Java, I've started to fall in love and appreciate the intricacy and logic of backend and all the moving parts interacting with each other.
Hello guys, I'm Ayse. I graduated from software engineering, and I worked as 8 years. I worked as a business analyst and technical product manager in the bank and fintech companies.
Hello everyone, I am Vijani from Sri Lanka. I am a computer science graduate and also having both industry and academia experience, mostly in academia. So after moving to the Netherlands, I decided to change my career back to software development. So I selected Salt to improve my skills, and that's all about myself. So now let's move to the application.
Cool. So, as I said, and as you can see, this is Stor-E. You might have been able to read our little blurb there, but I'll reiterate it. It is an AI-powered children's storybook creation app, or a children's storybook generator, where we integrate OpenAI's ChatGPT for the text and DALL-E for image generation to create unique stories for the user, for the children, every single time. Basically, if you use our app, you'll never, ever get the same story twice. I remember as a kid, I used to get a little bit bored of my storybooks. This solves that problem. You can put yourself right into the middle of the story as well, which we'll showcase and explain to you a little bit further. But that's the gist of the app. Let's show you how it all works. Our front-end technologies, you can see a little bit of our tech stack here, some of the most important parts. We're using React and TypeScript, with Bootstrap handling some of the presentation, the pretty side of it, with our own, obviously, tweaking and customization there. The backend, we've just completed a Java course, so Java, of course, with Spring Boot, and a lot of use of RESTful APIs. We also use GitHub, of course, industry standard for version control. Got us out of trouble once or twice. Learned a lot about GitHub during this project. And if it wasn't for an app called Trello, which is for task organization and team management, we probably wouldn't have gotten as much work done as we actually did. So. There's some of the first technologies that we use.
We host our entire project in Azure, and our front-end and back-end deployed with GitHub Actions. And we use to generate the stories, we use ChatGPT Conversation API.
Yeah, we use DALL-E API to generate images for our application. So in this Stor-E application, we create 5-page storybooks. So for each page, we use the story part as a prompt to generate images per page from DALL-E. So then these generated images are then stored in Azure Blob Storage, and also we keep the unique name inside our database. And it will help us to separate the image data from the other application data, and also it increases performance by handling images as blobs. And also after loading the images to the application from the blob storage, it's cached into the backend using Spring caching. So it will also increase performance and also saves cost.
Let's start creating stories together, guys. And for generated stories, we need character name. This character name can be the kid's name, or if we can't write it, it gives us an error. Yeah. And this name can be kid's name or their best friend's name. And
or any of your names.
Yeah. Give me a name.
Any volunteers?
Give me a name.
Maybe your boss's name or something.
Ooh. Better not. Better not.
Let's do John.
John.
Okay.
Cool.
My boss's name.
Yes, this is a totally interactive application, and now ChatGPT will generate your the topics for your story, and story will continue with based on your selections. And can you give me a selection? Which adventure do you want to continue?
It's a Bootstrap, seriously.
John saves the day.
Yeah, no, same day, cool. Yeah.
Not the first time. Not the first time.
Now we ask ChatGPT to generate the stories, and we want 3 options for the other part. And when the ChatGPT gives the story, we use the typewriter effect for, at the same time when we write the story, we will go to the DALL-E without blocking any user, and we get the image from the DALL-E. And as you can imagine, these requests can take time. We optimize the flow like that with typewriter and the little cutie dinosaur gifs.
This is a story. It's a storybook app. So without further ado, after an exciting day in school, John stumbled upon a mysterious book in the library. As he opened it, he was transported to a realm ruled by chocolate cake mountains. Suddenly, a mischievous gnome appeared. Does anybody want to lead us further on the story?
Give us an option. Candy cane.
There we go.
At that point, for the ChatGPT can't continue the story. ChatGPT can't support the continuous conversation. That's why we want to support continuous conversation for creating the all 5 parts. That's why every time and this is the other one.
So, we'll do this a few more times, not every time. But, with a mischievous grin, the gnome challenges John to a race through the candy cane forest. John's heart skips a beat as he accepts. They set off, sprinting past gingerbread houses and dodging lollipop trees. John's determination fuels every step while the gnome giggles with delight.
Who's the gnome?
Dangerous question.
Which options?
Where do we want to go, guys?
Candy cane one, show me him now. Nice.
Bottom one.
Bottom
Yeah.
one. Gotcha.
Okay.
Marshmallow creatures cheering them on.
Yes, now let's continue making our storybook with the 3rd page. So you can see the story is generating. So you know this is an application for kids. So we have to make sure the images are friendly for the kids. So developers use illustration style when requesting images from the DALL-E. We send it as a part of the prompt. So now let's move to the 4th page. So with that page, I will introduce another feature in our application.
As John approaches the hidden treasure chest, his eyes widen with excitement.
Yeah, you may be wondering what is the icon in the right corner, so that enables to read the story by voice narration. So it is enabled by web speech API. It will help the kids to focus on the reading when they hear the voice in background. They can focus more in the text also. They can learn about the story with correct pronunciation as well. And let's move to the next page of our storybook.
And for the purpose of the demo, I'm just going to start randomly selecting options. No matter what option we select, it's going to be a great story. So we have mentioned that it's a 5-page story that we are specifically generating at the moment, and this is page 5. I've got it full screen now, but in the URL bar you'll be able to see what page you're on. When you finish your story, you're brought through here to the review feature. The review option, where you'll be able to go through every single page of your story, including the images, in this nice and easy to use carousel feature. We do have future ideas of how we're going to make this, more storybook-like, more book animation, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and we had 2 weeks for this. So from here, you've got 2 options. You can confirm to keep the story and save it to your database into your collection, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But first, Ayse is going to show us another functionality that we have here in our creation app, in the creation feature.
For now, we can continue with Stor-E name, and you can press random button if you don't want to continue with the interactive way. When you press the random button, it will. Oops.
Perhaps I just need to reload the page.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's go for Stor-E again.
Yeah, it gives you another topics. If you press random button, lovely button, it's automatically generate 5 parts for you, and it's automatically generate the image for you. It's asynchronously happen, and it goes to the review page, and you can see your page. You can see your story in the review page.
Some of the feedback we got while building, especially the front end of the app, was that there was some longer loading times. ChatGPT takes a little while to generate the story, but it wasn't the main issue. DALL-E being the longest wait that we had to figure out a way of keeping the user entertained. Using that cute dinosaurs GIF, this little book here, and especially we had a lot of fun with the little phrases down at the bottom as well. That kept us sane for a few days.
As you can see, it's our review page, and if you confirm your story, you will automatically go to the gallery page, and Vijani will continue.
Yes, you can see our lovely gallery of all the storybooks we created. So in this gallery, you can see 3 main tabs: favorite storybooks and drafts. The default tab is storybooks, where you can see all the storybooks generated, and these are sorted by the generated date. And also you can see all the storybooks are added as cards into the gallery. So you can see this image, which is a cover image of the storybook, which is taken as the first image generated from the DALL-E. And here you can see the title of the storybook, which is the first option we selected to create the storybook. And here you can see when you hover over this icon, you can see this icon appears. When you click on it, you can go back to the review page and you can read the storybook. This is the reading view of our storybook. And here also you can use this navigation to move back to the gallery. So each of the cards, you can see there are 3 lovely buttons here. Let's discuss about what are each button's options. So first one is add to favorite. So if you really love the storybook, you can add it to the favorites list by clicking on it. So it is now added to this favorites page, favorites tab. And from here you can simply remove them if you don't like, and it will go back to the storybooks tab. And here the next option is download storybook. When you click on it, it will download it as a PDF. Here you can see we have sample storybooks. You can read them. Karen will give them to you. You can see the lovely storybooks. Now here to generate this PDF, we set the A5 size as the page size, and also we use the Apache PDF box to generate this PDF from scratch. And if we go back to this gallery, the third button is delete button. So when you click on it, it will give you a confirmation prompt. If you want to delete or not, if you click cancel, it goes back to the gallery. If you deleted it, it will delete from the gallery. And then, so this application is really used by the kids. So during the creation of the storybook, the kid can accidentally close the window, or there can be network errors. So it will still save your storybook as a draft. So here you can see all the drafts generated by the application, and you can see how many pages created of each of the storybook. And also you can, if you want to continue with the storybook, you can click on this edit draft, which will bring you back to the create page, which will continue from the next page, which is third page of here. You can see the Word file is completed. From the third page, it will continue. And you can see no view option is here in the drafts, and it is only enabled in completed storybooks. Here you can see if you don't want this draft to be included into the gallery, you can simply delete it like this. So this is all about our gallery page. So now let's take a look at our future development, how we can move forward with our application.
What's next for this app? We here at Stor-E, the team that we have very active imaginations, as you can see. So we do have a couple of plans to introduce a few more features in the future. The first one that we plan to introduce, and we have already got the bare bones of it set up, but at the moment we only have one user, is a user login that allows you to save your favorite adventures, continue with your favorite characters, and revisit the most epic tales.
And the companion kids can be in the same story with their best friends.
And of course, background audio, we can include background audio based on children-friendly sounds. And another context.
You'll also be able to share the story to your socials, share it with your friends and family who wouldn't want that.
And print your story, or do your own company to your story.
Another, we wouldn't call it a feature, but another thing that we do plan on implementing, and it was some feedback that was given to us that we really like, is the ability to generate stories in different languages. We think it would look after quite a lot of people in different parts of the world. Obviously English isn't spoken everywhere, thankfully it is here in Salt, but not everywhere. So that's another small feature. It's not a full feature, but it's on the cards. We're really passionate about this app, to be honest, and we really like what we've done with it. And we'd love to hear your questions and feedback if you have any.
How did you come up with this idea?
We were brainstorming, a whiteboard, a pen, a piece of paper, a lot of bad ideas. And yeah, we thought of, I myself play Dungeons and Dragons for fun, and it's kind of just Dungeons and Dragons for kids with AI, if you want to think of it that way. So one idea led to another, and led to another, led to another, and then there was a light bulb above the three of us, and we thought, let's do this.
Why not using ChatGPT for ideation? You use it basically for everything, right? You're ideating ideas, you could ideate the idea more today.
Doesn't always give the most.
Yeah, it's funny how you see, like how you use it, right?
Yeah.
For this, but you don't use it for the ideation process, right?
A little bit,
You
yeah.
used it
But this
also.
idea was organic. It was a man-made idea.
Like man-made.
Yeah.
Human.
A human-made idea.
Yeah, we thought it would be very interesting when we create the app, and it is for kids, and really good idea for thanks.
Yeah, I have a question about the pictures. When I'm looking at the pictures, unless I'm wrong, Alice has different shapes in every picture. Right?
Yes,
And that
it's
would be a little bit confusing to my grandchildren.
Yes, a really good question. For in ChatGPT, we can have a continuous story with sending the previous story.
You
But
can
in
solve
DALL-E,
it.
we can't make it because DALL-E just gives DALL-E can return us any conversation ID. It's not supported. Maybe in the future they will support it. It will be a good.
Yeah.
Yeah, for now it generates an image based on the text.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
What do you use for storage of the images, right? Because you're storing them somewhere.
Yeah.
What do we use for the image storage?
Azure Blob.
Azure block storage, yeah.
Okay.
Any question?
Final questions? You've automated my job, so thank you. That's my full-time job. Doesn't matter if it's a vocation or a vocation.
We are hiring.
All right, super cool. My comment to their app this morning was that I thought the developers were so pure. I mean, now we have an AI that can create our projects. Why don't you just sell the books and not? Right? So I think that's the next step. Or maybe you can hire them to do that. Right?